Welcome back to Eduwell. Let's be real. Sometimes the work we do can feel heavy. The days are long and it's easy to get down about everything we have to do.
Absolutely. But even on those tough days, there are many perks to this job that remind us why we chose it in the first place.
Today, we're each bringing our favorite perks of being a teacher to the conversation. Those little things that make all the effort worthwhile and put a smile back on your face.
It's a chance to celebrate the bright spots, laugh a little, and remember why this career is so special.
Let's dive into the well.
Welcome to the Eduwell Podcast, a show created for, by, and with teachers. I'm Alex.
And I'm Chelsea. Our goal is to share insights and connect with fellow teachers on how to thrive both personally and professionally.
Join us as we dive deep into the well of information filled with relatable tips, practical discussions, and ideas that go way beyond the classroom walls. Let's be well
and do well together. All right, Alex, let's get into it. I want to know what your first favorite teacher perk is. Tell me.
My first favorite teacher perk, Chelsea, is impact. I cannot think of any career that I could choose that would give me the opportunity to impact lives. And I'll elaborate a little bit. As a teacher, I have the opportunity to support, to educate, to care for, to inspire, to motivate, to uplift, to encourage students. Now from a couple generations, I feel. And I've reframed moments that have happened in my classroom and shared things in the class that I feel from time to time some students will take with them into their own lives. And I feel like I can have an impact. So that is one of the greatest gifts that teaching has given to me as a teacher.
That is truly wonderful. You're right. And we get to see that 5 days a week if we're lucky.
You can't always see it in the moment, Chelsea, but you do get to see it eventually. And when you do, you realize, and it's pretty impactful for me.
All right. One of my favorite perks is that it is always changing. And I know that change can be very tough, but what I mean is fresh start every year, meeting new students, meeting new people, just having that opportunity to constantly change and improve, I think makes the career so challenging in the best way.
Well, this is unfortunate because never boring was one of mine. So now I'm going to have to pivot, which as I pivot, it creates the next point, actually. It keeps me sharp as a human being. I am always having to use my brain. I am always having to pivot. I am always having to adjust. I am always having to learn about culture. And it keeps me young and youthful and interested in the world, because if I become blasé and don't put the time and effort into all of that, I won't be successful in the space. So I did you see how I did that? And I wove it all in together. See, this is because the brain is going to be sharp, because I have to be on in front of grade 7 and 8 students, and you cannot let your guard down for 2 seconds. So teaching is a job where you get to remain sharp. I'm always using my brain. So that's my next point. What do you think of that?
Yeah. No, that's it right there. You're taking your teaching skills and you're using them outside of your work. So that is one of the greatest things about the job. It just makes you better. It really does. And what you said about keeping you feeling young, something I've noticed about so many of the retired teachers that I know, they are just spry. They are moving. They are on it. They are doing something. They are loving life. So that's something to look forward to. I think that the career has really helped them to maintain all of those youthful qualities, that energy. So that's pretty awesome. Okay. So you said never boring. I'm going into having the opportunity to explore and exercise your own creativity on a regular basis. That is one of my favorite things about the work that we do. There are rarely times where you become complacent because there's always something new resources, new ideas to bring into the classroom, so much new learning to use in your classroom, outside of your classroom, in the school, opportunities to be had. So really accessing the creativity is one of my favorite parts of the job.
I'm going to take yours and spin it into mine, which is transferable. So all those skills that you learn within the classroom with that creativity and all of the dynamic pieces that come together to create a teacher, those skills are transferable. And you might start to notice once you've been doing it for a while and you wrap your head around it, the ever-changing landscape that it is that you're able to transfer those skills into other aspects of your life. And so we've had a few episodes where we've talked to a teacher moving towards retirement with Cheryl Harrison and to Susan Baldassi, and just how they're able to transfer the skills that they've learned in the classroom into other passions within their life. I know that I would not be the person that I am today, which is, by the way, an ever-evolving person. However, I use the skills that I learned in the classroom as a teacher into every aspect of my life. I am so much better for it because I'm learning just so many things on a daily basis. But the skills are transferable, and they can, depending on how you want to parlay it, they can change your future.
Yeah, it really does inspire you to be a lifelong learner. I know we hear that all the time, but it's true. That is what we are as teachers. Okay, I'm going on to my next perk, and that is being around other teachers. It's like we are like-minded people. Yes, we're all different, but we're all sharing this similar experience, the joys, the struggles, the mishaps, the laughs, and I just find so much joy in that. I think it's really fun. I mean, you can go anywhere, and if you're meeting a new teacher or you're talking to teachers, you can just sit there and you can talk all day long. That's what makes it fun.
Community. We have community in our schools, and then beyond the school walls, even within other school boards, you have community because you have this shared experience as a teacher. I mean, you don't get it unless you get it. So we're part of a crew, definitely. All right. Well, my next one was community. So I just wove it into how I responded to you. So I'm winging it and I'm saying you got your finger on the pulse. When you are a teacher, you have your finger on the pulse of what is current and what is now. Grade 7, 8 students in particular, and I would say grade 5 and 6 are similar, is they know what the trend is and they will bring it up in the classroom. You may not know what's going on, but eventually you figure it out and you have more insight into which way culture is going, because you're not just exposed to your own personal community of teachers, but you're exposed to an entire generation of students. And so you can kind of see where the way people are thinking and where they're going. And I just find that to be fascinating. So I guess, finger on the pulse, but also fascination. It's fascinating watching, let's say now versus 20 years ago, how kids have shifted and changed and what has become the focus, what is the approach, and being in the classroom, you just always have your finger on the pulse. You're very current.
It's almost like we got to work faster. It's almost like that expectation inflation thing where, holy man, we got to keep up with everything at lightning speed. Okay, you know what I really like? I really like that it really pushes me to find new ways. And I know this goes along with creativity, to be organized and to stay organized at school and at home. For me, that has become really, really fun. And, the more organized you get as a teacher, I find just the better it gets. I didn't know that early in my career. So now I'm on it.
Chelsea's like an A+ organizer.
I'm not a, you know what?
A++.
Okay, I'm going to take that from you. If you're saying it, then maybe it's true. Maybe I have become A+.
I think you have. Okay, I have one, and that is you get to witness aha moments. Now, I have a friend who always said that she was so lucky to be in grade 1 because she gets to be the one that teaches kids to read, and how, she prided herself on the fact that she was always able to move students forward in their reading journey. And I mean, I will continue on that. You get to witness the aha moments of students. As students get older, they're not just reading, they're then creating meaning and understanding and connecting and synthesizing and realizing that they're not alone in the world because of a beautiful book that they're reading, or that they relate to a character, and you get to witness these moments. So I think that's a really big one for me is getting to witness aha moments of students. And that never ends. Like, I mean, I have aha moments and I am a student of life, and I'm sometimes taking courses and I'm genuinely a student. But discovery, to witness discovery on an ongoing basis is a beautiful thing.
To go along with that, I would say that watching and helping people learn to get along and collaborate and laugh with each other, the kids, I think that is one of my favorite things about the job. When I just see them having fun. That's awesome. Having fun at school, you know?
Yeah, and witnessing unexpected friendships that blossom and bloom. Whereas, sometimes we stereotype our students and we expect them to hang out with, certain students. And I've always really enjoyed watching, watching everything settle organically without any sort of interference, and seeing beautiful friendships pop up. And then I don't know if you've had this experience, but, many years later, seeing those students out, having remained friends, lifelong solid friendships never to be broken, or relationships. I mean, I am thinking specifically of a pairing. So the relationship is now 4 or 5 years old. It's serious. They've been together for a long time, and they're at an age where it could move into marriage. Who knows? The point is
Amazing.
They were born out of relationships, friendships. So It's pretty cool. Yeah. So I don't know about you, but when I'm feeling the blahs and I'm having one of those days, thinking about some of those intangible perks of the job is a great way to reset, in the same way that summer does. To reset, kind of like find your grounding as to the why. You talk about the why a lot, Chelsea. These are some of the whys.
Exactly. Get to the why. Peel back the layers. Figure out what really matters. And everything that we just mentioned in this episode really does matter. It'll help you keep that well full.
Thanks for listening to the Eduwell podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please share it with a friend, subscribe, and leave a positive review. It helps others to find us.
Follow us on Instagram and Pinterest to help spread the word. For more inspiration, tips, and book recommendations, just head to the show notes and join the Eduwell newsletter today. Until next time, be well
and do well.